Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2019 with Borussia Dortmund. Today we have got the second leg of the Champions League. First knockout round against Juventus. I had to think of what it was called then. First knockout round, that's where we are. Not quite quarterfinals yet, but of course we may not even get there if you saw today's episode. That was a weird combination, wasn't it? That was me trying to say last night, but also yesterday at the same time. Yesterday. What a phrase. Either way, Juventus coming up in today's episode alongside Stuttgart in the league, so should be a pretty good episode for you. Since you were last here, another mixed bag of results. We played 3 games since you were last here. The Bayer Leverkusen game, a 3-1 win there. Very, very nice, I've got to say. Some decent goal scorers on the pitch. Not regular goal scorers, I've got to say, in Philipp, Witzel and Schmelzer, but nice you can get on the score sheet, of course. Bayer Leverkusen scored a penalty to make sure they got their goal in that game, but otherwise it was a pretty decent game for us. As you can see down here, surprise, surprise, Rafael Guerreiro got himself injured. He's also out for today's episode as well, so it's not great. After that, though, a 0-0 draw away from home against Augsburg. Not the best result. I really think we should have gone to that game and won it, basically, but unfortunately wasn't to be. Akanji, 2 yellow cards sent off as well, so it wasn't the best of games for us. And then the game after that against Eintracht Frankfurt in the German Cup, whatever it's called, the Pokal or something like that. I can't remember what it's called actually in real life. We lost it 2-0 against Frankfurt away from home, which wasn't great. I did expect us to go quite far in the German Cup, hence why I hadn't shown you anything of the German Cup yet. I thought once we got to the semi-finals, perhaps that's when I start to show it, because no one's that interested in cup competitions, I've noticed. Whatever league I'm in, whenever I do an episode sort of dedicated to the domestic cup, no one really is bothered about it, which is why I sort of leave it on the back burner until like the semi-finals or the finals, which is what I'm going to do with this one. But we've been knocked out in the quarterfinals, so okay. So 3 games played, 1 won, 1 drawn, 1 lost. So not too bad. The better results in the league, of course. We do still stay top of the Bundesliga, if I can find it, click on it properly. Bundesliga, as you can see, we are top by 3 points, ahead of Eintracht Frankfurt, to be fair. They are doing very well this season, Frankfurt, alongside Freiburg. Again, I think I mentioned it last episode, but both teams shouldn't really be up there. Where did Frankfurt finish last year in real life? If we look at their overview, if we click on, they finished in 8th the season before last, finished 6th in 2012-13, but other than that, they're pretty mid-table sort of side, I've got to say. And the same thing with Freiburg, I think. In fact, I think Freiburg probably not actually as good as Frankfurt. If we look at their overall, they did finish 5th actually in 2013 and 2012-2013. Is that not where the team we just looked at finished? 2012-13 6th, not 5th. My bad. Either way, as you can see though, neither of those sides doing particularly well in the league in recent seasons, sort of mid-table sides. They're doing very, very well this season, and they're bearing down on us, to be fair. 3 points behind us are Frankfurt, 4 points behind the Freiburg, so they could overtake us. Our attention, first of all, this evening though, is turning towards the Juventus game and the Champions League. If you hear last episode, then you know that we won. We didn't win, we drew. We drew 3-3 with Juventus last episode away from home, so we've got 3 away goals, which is great. So as long as we don't draw by more than 3 goals today, or more than 2 goals today, or we don't lose, we're going through into the quarterfinals, which is great. The team that are hopefully going to be taking us there then, Berkey starts in goal, of course. Schmelzer comes in at left back on the grounds that Guerreiro's injured again. Diallo and Akanji come back into that centre-back partnership. Akanji obviously missed the game because he was suspended. Hakimi starts at right back as per usual, with Witzel just in front of that defensive line, Dahoud and Weigl in that centre of midfield. Royce is on the left, Pulisic is on the right, and then Paco Alcacer is starting up front as per usual. So it's, pretty much the same lineup as every episode. Right then, kickoff is upon us, and once again, we are taking on Juventus. Again, Juventus, their front line is just so scary. They've got the same one again, Mandzukic, Ronaldo, Dybala and Costa. It's just terrifying, isn't it? It's terrifying how good that front line really is. And we've got to try and make sure we don't concede any goals to that front line, which is probably going to be hard, although Paco Alcacer going to try and to score the other end of the pitch. Ball actually did get cleared by Szczesny in the end, but Schmelzer, who the move started with, collects the ball, plays back to Berkey in goal, who puts it up towards Axel Witzel. Witzel out towards Marco Royce, who can cut inside, plays it across the pitch towards Pulisic, who actually gets it after De Chilio's header and clearance wasn't great. Pulisic back on the ball, can cut inside, gets in the area, has a shot, but Szczesny saves it. Decent little opening performance there from us, actually. The first 4 minutes of the game or so have been quite nice. We made some nice little moves. Witzel gets not quite on the end of the corner, but is headed out by Mandzukic for another corner on the other side of the pitch. Will the highlight continue to this corner? It does, as Royce puts it in once again towards number 22 at the back post. I think that's Pulisic actually, but that's the end of the highlight. So a nice opening 5 minutes or so from us. I'm happy with what I'm seeing so far. Even better news, Cristiano Ronaldo has picked up a potential knee injury 6 minutes into the game, or 10 minutes into the game. Hopefully that'll be useful for us. Hopefully they'll have to take him off, because if they take him off, that is literally the world's second best player off the pitch. Who's the best player in the world, I hear you ask? Well, obviously it's Royce in this game, because Royce is absolutely amazing in this game. If you have the money to afford him, or play as Dortmund, make sure you use Royce, as Paco Alcacer rounds Szczesny but puts the ball wide off the post, unfortunately. That was frustrating. If we are talking about world's best player, though, I don't think you can look past Messi. He's the best player in the world. Enough said. Another highlight in this first half, we just clear the danger from the back then. There looks like Royce has a chance to come forward. He doesn't actually win the ball in the end. It comes straight back to us in the form of Juventus, and Cristiano Ronaldo putting it into Mandzukic, who scores his 16th goal of the season. And I was literally about to say in this game that things are looking really good for us. That's the first shot Juventus have had all game, which is quite annoying. That's gone the back of a net. But I was about to say, like, things are going very well so far. If it stays at 0-0, we'll be fine to go into the next round. But as it stands, we're now losing. So we need to do something about this. And now Juventus have a free kick. Chiellini on the ball back to Douglas Costa, who can put it back into Mandzukic, who gets his second of the game. That is a really frustrating way to concede a goal, because that was just too easy for them to get in behind the defence. And within, 5 minutes and 2 shots, they've gone 2-0 up again. Well, we've done it before. We did it last episode. We were 2-0 down there and came back to actually be 3-2 up before conceding right at the end in that 92nd minute, but it was 6 minutes of added time, which is a bit frustrating. We're at home, so really we should be able to do it again. But Juventus, as I've said before, that attacking line is just so good. All they need is 2 opportunities, and they've got 2 goals. That's all they've needed. That's because they're so good attacking-wise. Hopefully their defence is a little bit more shaky, but you look at that defence as well. De Chilio, Chiellini in there. It is really a top-quality defence. And here they come again, although it's a good interception from Diallo. Schmelzer puts it across to Pulisic, but he just doesn't quite get on the end of it. Either time, actually. 2 times he had the chance to get on the end of the ball. Didn't quite manage it. Mandzukic into Sami Khedira, who's made it 3-0, has eradicated all of our away goals. And, I mean, we have to win it 4-3 now if we want to go through. So, good luck to us. Maybe we can grab one back, though, from this throw-in as De Hood gets on the ball. Puts it up towards Pulisic, but doesn't quite get there. Does get there the second time, though. Puts it back to Royce. And Pulisic and Royce, the 2 wingers, combining there to score pretty much instantly after Juventus scored their goal. So perhaps a comeback really is on in this game. Can we go one better than last time? Can we go? I mean, if we could do that away from home at Juventus in Turin, then surely we can go one better here. We may need to make some changes though in the next few minutes. Although Schmelzer may have just got himself sent off, and he has done. He has done. Right. In that case, can Hakimi sort of go there in that attacking midfield position? He can. Can Royce play like... He can't really play down there. We may have to just bring Royce back there. Like that. Have we got any... No one can play left back, really. Diallo can play... Oh, Diallo can actually kind of play there. Which is alright. Royce can then stay in that attacking midfield position. Obviously, the Akanji's there. We'll have to take... De Hood or Weigl off the pitch. We'd probably take De Hood off the pitch, I think, although who's looking more tired? Diallo, not Diallo, who we're looking for? We're looking for Weigl and De Hood. Witzel actually is quite tired. De Hood's actually not very tired at all. Witzel's probably the player who should come off the pitch, actually, because he's looking quite tired out there. So we'll take Witzel off instead for Omra Turpak. And maybe that is what we go for the rest of the game, I think. That is... I mean, we've already conceded 3 goals, so we have to try and get some goals back in this game. So there's no point sitting back trying to defend. If we're going to get the goals, we're going to do it like that. But we may also concede goals like that as well. As, I mean, that was good timing. Well, for some reason, it's just not going to be our day, is it? I just don't think it's going to be our day. Which doesn't mean it's the end. I mean, it's our day because Mandzukic has already got his hat-trick. Has been injured. If only got injured earlier on in the game, had to come off and didn't score a hat-trick, then we might have a chance of actually qualifying for the quarterfinals. Of course, if we do want to win this game now, we have to score 4 more goals in the next couple of minutes. And it was nearly 6 more goals in the next couple of minutes as Cuadrado just puts it wide the post. Perhaps a chance for us now as De Hood just puts... Oh, was it De Hood? It was number 4. I'm not quite sure who number 4 is. Diallo, number 4. Put forward Paco Alcacer there, but didn't quite come off. And now actually, at the end of the pitch, Juventus have another chance as Cuadrado this time doesn't miss. 5-1. It's a bit embarrassing now, isn't it? A little bit embarrassing. Well, No Champions League for us this season then. No Champions League. It's not too much of an issue. We didn't want it anyway. We didn't want it. We did get a nice £8.52 million though for playing in the first knockout round, which is a nice bit of money, I've got to say. Schmelzer is going to be banned for one match. We'll just issue a warning to him. I don't think, even if he didn't get sent off, I don't think we would have won that game, unfortunately. What it does mean, though, is that we can just concentrate on the league now. There's what, 10 games or so to go? I'm not going to count that, but about 10 games or so to go this season, which is make or break, to be fair, when you consider how close it is to the top of the table. Now, Brun Larsen wants to discuss contracts. We'll ask Delaney to resolve it first. Quite frankly, I'm just so tempted to press decline. I'm so done with everyone asking me for contracts. Can you have a word with him, please? He's like going to say, yes, I'll try. And, well, it actually worked. Fair play. He no longer wants a new deal after speaking to whoever it was. So, cheers, lad. Dahoud, though, is injured for 2 to 3 weeks, which, again, highs and lows at Dortmund, I've got to say. There are highs and lows. The low of Brunsladen wanting a new contract, the high of him then no longer wanting it, and then the low of a key player being injured. It is an emotional rollercoaster here at Dortmund. So here we are then for the Stuttgart game. A few changes we have to make. Obviously, Dahoud injured, so he's got to go, and Akanji is suspended because he was sent off in a league game. So, Dahoud, get off the pitch. We have to bring Delaney on for him, and then we have to take him off the bench for... I mean, Goetze, he's not played for months, Goetze, but we'll put him on the bench for now. Akanji can come off for... We'll bring Topak on, actually. And then again, Topak, or Akanji rather, will come off the bench. And we'll bring on Piszczek, I think. Other than that, actually, I've got to say, players looking pretty fresh. I mean, Hakimi isn't actually, so we should probably swap Hakimi for Piszczek for this game, because he's not looking so great. And actually, both our wingers, Pulisic and Royce, looking a little bit tired out there. So I think we'll bring Sancho on the left, who's not played for ages, because Royce is just always going to start. And then Brunsladen, actually is his turn to play on the right side of the pitch this episode, this game rather. So we'll make those 2 changes as well. Other than that, I think the team is exactly fine to go and take on Stuttgart in this game. Right then, kickoff is upon us once again, this time in the Bundesliga. And we used to have a table and things, and I think... I'm not quite sure where it's gone, if I'm honest with you. So I'll get that back up for you next time, the highlights. In fact, we'll watch this highlight, see what happens from this free kick. It looks like Stuttgart have a chance to come forward again. We've been susceptible from crosses as we... I mean, we're so susceptible from crosses that we are now crossing it to the Stuttgart players themselves. I mean... Great. Was it Witzel? At least we know Witzel is pretty good at crossing the ball, actually. Maybe if we do need a winger every now and again, we can put him out on the wing instead. A couple of other teams playing today at the same time. I think actually most teams are playing right now. Eintracht Frankfurt are playing, as are not Freiburg. So let's not worry about them too much. Freiburg not playing. Leipzig are playing. They're winning, actually. And Frankfurt currently drawing with Fortuna Düsseldorf. So... Pretty good spread of teams playing right now. We can keep an eye on those teams as it starts to hot up now in the league. Not many games to go yet, and we're still very, very tight at the top of the table. Hopefully, we can just sort of win all our games from here on out as Paco Alcacer gets us back in this game with a superb goal from the pretty much a penalty spot, really, pretty much. So good goal. Again, another quiet game, or another quiet first half at least. Highlights and chances few and far between so far, as it was in the last game actually, until the floodgates opened for Juventus. I mean, let's not think about that too much. As you can see from the stats though, and it's another case of them having one shot and them scoring that one shot. So perhaps Berke not perhaps the best goalkeeper. Maybe he's not quite as good. I mean, he's actually only made one save, I think, in this episode. He's only made one save whilst conceding 7 goals now, which is a good ratio. If you actually remember back to last episode in the game we played against, who did we lost to Nuremberg, lost 1-0 there. That was another case of one shot, one goal going in for Nuremberg. So in the last 3 games that you've seen on camera, Berkey has conceded 8 and only made 1 save. So that is poor. That is actually awful. Again, as you can see, 10 shots to 1 shot, 58% possession to 42% possession. And yet, for some reason, we just cannot break through. Frankfurt are winning as well, by the way. I've just noticed that. They're 1-0 up in their game. So really, it's really not very good. Brunn are not playing particularly well out there. So Pulisic is actually going to come on for him. I do think Pulisic is a better player on that right-hand side of the pitch. We'll bring him on. And actually, I'm tempted to bring Alexander Isaac on for Paco Alcacer. Did score his goal earlier on, but he's looking a little bit tired. And quite frankly, if they're having 11 shots out there, not scoring goals, perhaps we do need someone else out there to just bring a fresh face onto the pitch, slightly different attacking style. Maybe he'll be slightly better and maybe score a goal. I mean, a draw's not awful because it does keep us a point ahead of Frankfurt, but of course we are then losing 2 points to Frankfurt in the table, and that's I mean, that's not what we want at all, is it? I also notice when I'm editing, I do this a lot. I put my hand on the back of my head or top of my head quite a lot, which blocks a lot of the screen off for you. So I do apologise. It just seems to be a bit of a natural reaction or thing that I do when I'm making videos now. Although Sancho puts it into Alexander Isak, and what have I said? He had to come on the pitch to change things up a little bit. And what has he done? He's come on the pitch, changed things up a little bit, and in the 80th minute of the game has managed to score. Jordan Sancho, by the way, or Jadon Sancho, with 2 assists, which is worth noting, I've got to say. You know, he doesn't get much game time because Royce is on outside the pitch, but when he comes on the pitch, as you can see, 2 assists is not bad. Another corner for us. Sancho once again putting it in onto the head of Vigo, cleared though by the Stuttgart defence, and they're trying to counter-attack now as they come forward. Gomez is through on goal now, only number 29 to stop him, and Berkey actually makes a save in the end. I think it's Akanji who's 29. Again, I've been here all season. Schmelzer, that's why I didn't recognise it, because Schmelzer's never on the pitch. I couldn't really... Oh, you hate to see that. You hate to see that. Very, very sneaky goal there from Stuttgart. That is not what we want to see at all. We're going to go... Can we change? We're going to go to very attacking, and we're also going to shout, push forward. We've got 4 minutes of added time now. As I was saying, number-wise, I'm pretty good, but then there's sometimes you look at it and you have no idea who's who. And Schmelzer is one. Oh, Isaac just puts it over the bar from real point-blank range there. Schmelzer, number 29, is one of those. He never plays, so I saw number 29. I was like, what is going on there? Unfortunately, I think we are going to draw this game. Yeah, and we are going to draw this game. 2-2. Frustrating is the term to use for our recent form. Not our recent form, our prolonged form. The last 8, 9 games. I think it's 9 games now that we've sort of been out of sorts, I've got to say. And, well, I don't know if out of sorts is even the right word to use, because it's been going on for so long now. Like, before, just after January, that was fantastic. February onwards has been very poor. Only 2 wins in 10 games, and that's... To be fair, this is relegation form. To be fair, this is relegation form. It's a good job we did so well earlier in the season to make sure we stayed on top of the table for quite a while. But at 2 wins in 10 games, and one of them was a cup game as well, so it's pretty poor. We've got 9 games left of the season though. 9 games left to try something, to try and. We're still on top of the table by a point, which is good. As long as we just win every single game, we'll be fine. That's the plan, win every single game. Next episode then, I reckon we come back for this Freiburg game. Freiburg just slipping off a little bit towards the end of the season, but they're still a very decent side. And of course, we have to do the Schalke game, because Schalke and Dortmund, obviously, massive derby. So thank you very much for watching today's episode. Hope you have enjoyed it. I certainly have, actually. It's been nice. We have lost the games, but I've enjoyed recording this one, so that's been good, at least for me. If you enjoyed it, make sure you do drop a like on the video, though. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, with notifications turned on as well, so you never miss out on a video. And I'll see you next time for some more Football Manager 2019.